Let's talk about this discussion board for your final exam. I know you're looking at this discussion board, you say, my goodness, it's the beginning of the semester. Here's the thing. Your final essay is going to be a narrative essay where you're going to create a world where your characters will operate. You'll be able to create all of your characters through your own voice, and it's going to be exciting. So how long does it take to write a short story like this? Given the pages that you have to study in the module, the requirements of a world of the story, the motif, the characters, the theme, the recurring symbol, the things that are required for this essay. It takes most writers about a year. You have the course of the semester and the requirements for the narrative going forward. So, in my world, when I sit down to write a story or to write a novel or to write a screenplay, I have a team of people that I have hired, and I pay them each time I go in and ask them a question. Because despite my best efforts, my protagonist in the novel that I've been working on for quite some time is named Charlie, and you'll see examples of Charlie in the modules when you see examples of creating the different aspects of the novel that are required. So, I will send emails to these people, and I will send them a picture that depicts the problem that's going on in the scene, in the chapter, in the screenplay scene, whatever is happening, and I will ask them questions. My readers are generally male readers because I understand a female voice. I know how women think. I know how women talk. I can write women's dialogue through a spectrum of different female characters. Male characters, I understand the motivation. I understand how their minds work, but I don't always hear their voice. And you say, well, my goodness, you created Charlie Patterson out of dust. Yes, I did. I created him out of absolute dust, and sometimes he baffles me. Sometimes I don't know how he would handle the situation that I placed him in. So I will send my readers a question, and I show you an example of that below, a post that I sent. Now, and I ask them for their feedback. Either I ask them for, what do you think he's feeling in this moment? What do you think he might say? Men do not speak in 1,000 words. They speak in like 5 to 8 words. Sometimes it's easy to write those 5 to 8 words, and sometimes it's not. So I will pay people to do that. You don't have to do that. You have your people in your cyber cafe. Are your people, have they demonstrated throughout this semester a willingness to offer intelligent, creative comments about all the other things you have brought to their attention through the weekly cyber cafe? Are you happy with your group? Are they complaining about the assignments or asking how to open something or this kind of thing? Or are they offering wonderful ideas and suggestions to you throughout the semester like a scholarly group would do? This is the point where the rubber meets the road with that cyber cafe group. If you need a new group, you will want to tell me that. You need to email me and say, I need a different group. Then you will professionally go into your cyber cafe group and say that you are moving groups and you're going to go to a group that's a little bit better suited to the topic that you are exploring. And, so you don't hurt their feelings, and you are professional by not just disappearing, but by letting them know. And then I will change you over to a different group. Because ideally, I want groups to be together who are able to pose those questions that I just mentioned to you here and receive a prompt response answer, and also offer you a question that would be within your expertise. I can't tell you how many of these narrative essays I read where I can tell that the writer did not understand the mentality of the character that he or she just created. And instead of tackling that question of how would my character react in this moment, let me get some outside input. Let me get some other fresh eyes on the situation. I'm going to explain enough to them so they know what's going on. Then I'm going to get their ideas. And instead of doing that, it is so obvious when a writer just skirts around it. Cut today is what I call it, right? You've placed your protagonist in this horrible experience. They're walking up the stairs. It's a scary situation, and the writer does not know what to do to them once they get up to the top of the stairs. So it's cut today. And the next morning that you wait, wait a minute, there's a lot of time between now and what happened in the daytime. So that's what I'm talking to you about. Use your Cyber Cafe group throughout this process of writing the narrative essay. When does the process start? At the beginning of the semester. The sooner you can go in and post the image that you are using from the images that I selected, and or images that you have found in Deposit Photos or wherever you're finding your images, and you can post those images and say, here's the character in this moment, here's the situation briefly, and I wonder how a female would handle this particular incident. And with good luck in your group, you will have wonderful gals in your group who will tell you exactly how a female person would handle that situation. And I want to have you have really wonderful luck with this. I am monitoring these posts and make sure that they are always appropriate and that you are asking questions that you can get some really good feedback on. You're saving yourself a ton of money. I spend a lot of money, and I have budgeted a lot of money. Each project that I write, I have a budget for focus groups, and you have one right here at your hands, free of charge. So enjoy this process. This is fun, and this is a great place to make use of those terrific people in your Cyber Cafe group. Keep those posts coming, make them appropriate, and make them plentiful. You will need to respond to everyone in your group who asks a question. So students sometimes say, well, how many posts do I have to make? As many as there are questions. Your weekly Cyber Cafe group is where you can discuss this as well. You have the two places to discuss your final narrative exam. You don't have to put them in both places. I will see either one that you place. So you can put it in your weekly Cyber Cafe and get that immediate feedback on Monday. Or you can go to this discussion board for the Cyber Cafe and put in a little bit longer questions. And in your Monday Cyber Cafe group, you can say, would you go over to the discussion board for the narrative essay, take a look at the question I posted there, and see if you have an answer for that. Okay? So as many as it takes is the answer to that. You know that every Monday you do a Cyber Cafe post. So that's a given. But as far as this board, or the discussion board goes, there should be at least 10. All right.